Hello, everyone. Internet messing up, but that's all right. We're here. God bless you, Pastor White. God bless you, First Lady. We're here. Are y'all ready for some Bible basketball? We're gonna get ready to pull up our questions and everything, and we're still in. Um, this is still the playoffs, so be prepared. Be prepared. This is still the playoffs. All right. So you can hear me. That's good. Thank the Lord for that. So, like we did last week, this is the playoff. So, as soon as our questions come up, we're going to be running up and down the court. We got 4 quarters. So, hopefully, everybody is doing all right this evening. Hopefully, everybody is doing all right. Um, got some nice hot weather here in Chicago. So hopefully it'll continue that way because I ain't afraid of the heat. I like the heat. So I don't mind some heat. I thank the Lord for it. I don't mind a little heat. All right. So our question and thing, we're going to get ready to pull them up. Make sure we got everything in the right place. I don't think it was your computer. It might have been mine because mine was acting up. It's Wednesday night. A lot of people are on Facebook and the internet and everything on Wednesday night. So it might have been me because mine was freezing up too. So it might have been me. But we getting ready to move forward as we go forward. We're gonna come on. We ain't gonna wait on folks any longer. We're gonna go and get started. It's gonna be the first lady versus the pastor here. Two heavy hitters going at it. So we're gonna go at it, and we're starting off our first quarter with people of the Bible. That's what we're gonna start off with. People of the Bible. So if y'all are ready, then let's get ready to head down the court. And we're starting off, like I said, with people of the Bible. And here comes our first question. He says, well, as soon as this video get out the way, our first question. Who was Esther's father? We're talking about people of the Bible this quarter. So as we head down the court, who was Esther's father? Was it Ahan, Abihail, Mordecai, or Mordash? Who gonna start off down the court with this and here? A, Ahan, B, Abihail, C, Mordecai, or D, Mordash? Who was Esther's father? And First Lady took off down the court with Abihail. Down the court she goes with Abihail. Is she gonna take it by herself, or is she gonna get some help from the pastor? Hopefully the pastor ain't froze and he coming in with Abihail too. So is this a slam as we only have these two? All right. Is it a slam with Abihail? Is it a slam on our first one? And that is correct. It was Abihail. Flying 360 slam on that one there. All right. Next question says, who was the captain of King Saul's army? Army. Who was the captain of King Saul's army? Was it A, Ammon, B, Ashdod, C, Molid, or D, Abner? Who was the captain of King Saul's army? First Lady took off down the court and she said it was Abner. So down the court she goes with Abner. Is she going to get any help or what? Down the court she goes with Abner. And Pastor, he came up with AD, and then he finally said D, Abner. All right, down the court he going with Abner. All right, get them fingers straight, Pastor. Is this correct as we head down the court? Is it Abner? That is correct. Another flying 360 from the pastor and the first lady. They going at it today. All right. Here's our next question. He said, at first, how many disciples did Jesus choose to become apostles? At first, how many did he choose? A, 12, B, 7, 10, C, 10, D, 4. How many did Jesus choose to become apostles at first? 12, 7, 10, or 4? First lady heads down the court with 12. Anybody else see anything different as we watch this great playoff game going at it? And here come the pastor. Pastor White said it was 7 at first. So down the court he go with 7, but the first lady stole it from him and said, no, my brother, it was 12. And he got with her. He said it's 12. And here comes Sister Gibbs. He passed it to Sister Gibbs. Good evening to you, Sister Gibbs. And she said 12. So down the court we go with 12. And she passed it to the first lady, who passed it back to the pastor. He said 12. No more 7. He said 12 this time. All right, down the court we go with 12. Is this a slam with 12? He doubled back. Is he got it? That is correct. It is 12. Way to slam it on that one. All right, here comes our next question. He said, to whom did God give the covenant of circumcision? To whom did God give the covenant of circumcision? A, Noah, B, John, C, Abraham, D, Moses. Who did God give the covenant of circumcision to? Noah, John, Abraham, or Moses? And there come the first lady right out, and she said Abraham. Down the court. She ain't afraid to take off by herself with Abraham. Down the court she go between her legs, and she passes to Sister Gibbs with Abraham. Down the court, Sister Gibbs goes with Abraham, and look like she gonna take it in herself. Look like she gonna take it. Maybe somebody gonna steal it from her. Is this it? Is she gonna slam it? Down the court they go with Abraham. Is this gonna get it? Maybe she gonna have to slam it herself with Abraham as she head down the court between her leg behind her back. She twirling, getting ready for a 360, and she passes it all of a sudden to Pastor White. Pastor White finally got in on it and on the alley hoop. And is this correct? With Abraham. That is correct. Flying 360 on that one. All right, way to slam it. Here comes our next question. Next question said, what did Elizabeth do immediately after she conceived a child? All right, what did Elizabeth do immediately after she conceived a child? A, cook 7 big meals. B, bathed in a lake. C, hid for 5 months. D, bathed in a lake. What did Elizabeth do immediately after she do? What did she do after she had a child? We're gonna take off down the court on this one here. Did she cook? Did she bathe in a lake? Or did she hide for 5 months? There go the first lady, took off down the court and said she hid for 5 months. Are we all in agreement? Maybe somebody sees something different. Maybe she cooked a meal and they was rejoicing about having a baby. Or maybe she went out there and bathed herself, got herself cleaned up. Down the court, first lady goes with she hid for 5 months. And here come the pastor. She passes to him for 5 months. And then he passes to Sister Gibbs for 5 months. She hid. She passed it back to the pastor. So are we all in agreement? Is this a slam? For 5 months she hid after she conceived a child. For 5 months. Is that correct? That is correct. All right, that ends our first quarter. Fine 360 slam on that one there. That ends the first quarter. She hid herself. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our second quarter. We're going to pull up our questions for our second quarter. Good game, y'all, for that. Tank of water and get ready to head down the court for our second quarter. And our second quarter is going to be dealing with, I think it's Find the Book. All right. Second quarter, we're going to be looking at Find the Book. So get ready to head down the court, and we're going to be talking about Find the Book. So hopefully y'all got a quick drink of water, and ready to find the book. All right. Find the book. And here we go. Here comes our questions as we get ready to pull up our first question. Here they come. These old videos keep popping up. All right, here's our first question. He said, who had saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace? Who has saved us? A, 2 Corinthians, what book do you find this in? You find it in 2 Corinthians, B, in 2 Peter, C, in 2 Timothy, or D, in 2 John. Where do you find this scripture? Who had saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace. What book of the Bible will you find this in? Who gonna take off down the court? And there comes the first off down the court with 2 Timothy. Are we in agreement? Or maybe somebody found it somewhere else, or maybe y'all come on, get with her, or what? Say on the court, the first lady doubles back and forth and go between her legs with 2 Timothy. She's headed down the court with 2 Timothy. As she goes down the court, she passes to Pastor White, who passes it to Betty Jean and Johnny. Good evening to y'all. Down the court, Betty Jean and Johnny goes with 2 Timothy, and they passes it back to Pastor White, who got it stolen by Sister Gibbs. Sister Gibbs stole it and went back the other way with 2 Corinthians. She said it ain't Timothy, it's Corinthians. Down the court, she goes with Corinthians, and as she was going between her legs, Pastor White stole it from her. She was trying to be too pretty. He stole it down the court, and he passes it back to the first lady with 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy, they headed down the court with 2 Timothy, down the court. Maybe somebody else sees something different as we shoot down the court with 2 Timothy. Somebody said something different, but they said 2 Timothy. Is this a slam with 2 Timothy? And here come the pastor coming back in for 2 Timothy. Is this a slam with 2 Timothy? All right, is this a slam? On that one with 2 Timothy. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. It says, for the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto thee. What book of the Bible is this written in? A, Exodus, B, Romans, C, Psalms, or D, Deuteronomy? What book of the Bible is for the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers. What book of the Bible is this in? Exodus, Romans, Psalms, or Deuteronomy? And there goes the first lady down the court with Deuteronomy. Are we in agreement with Deuteronomy? Or maybe somebody sees something different. She's heading down the court, going between her legs and spinning around and everything. You know, be careful, it might get stolen. She headed down the court. She's determined with Deuteronomy. Ain't nobody come getting with her. Is she gonna pass it or is she gonna slam it on her own? Down the court she goes with Deuteronomy. Are y'all gonna get with her? You're gonna steal it from them. Down the court she goes with Deuteronomy, and all of a sudden she passes it to Pastor White. He gets with her, and he passes it to Betty Jean and Johnny. Down the court, Betty Jean passes it back to the first lady, and here comes my cousin Connie in. Good evening, Connie. And she passes it to my cousin Connie, who passes it back to the pastor, and the pastor passes it to Sister Gibbs. Sister Gibbs head down the court, control that ball, Sister Gibbs. She got it. She going the right way this time, and there she go again between her legs and everything. She determined. She knows how to handle that ball. So down the court she goes. Is this a slam with Deuteronomy? First lady says slam it, Sister Gibbs. That is a slam. Flying 360 slam on that one there. Way to slam it. All right, let's head down the court with our next question. They just look like they just gave us this question, so y'all ought to be able to get it. For who has saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose. What book did y'all say this was in? Was it in Second Corinthians, Second John, Second Timothy, or Second Peter? Who gonna head down the court on this one here? Y'all have had this one, so this one should be an easy one. That go the first lady said it was Second Timothy. She staying with that. Maybe somebody see something different. And she head down the court, go between her leg and everything. With Second Timothy, she spins around, heading down the court, and she passes to Pastor White. Down the court, he passes it to cousin Connie. Down the court, she goes and she passes it back to the pastor, who passes to Sister Gibbs. Sister Gibbs going around with their head and in for another slam, or does somebody see something different? Sister Gibbs passes to Betty Jean and Johnny heading in for the slam, who passes it back to Pastor White. Is this a slam? Is this a slam with Second Timothy as the book? That is correct. Way to slam it. Slam it. Second Timothy is the correct answer. All right. Let's head on down the court with our next question. He said, but God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. I'll finish it out. But it's in, what book is this found in? Second Chronicles, First Corinthians, Hebrews, or Second Samuel. Where is this found at? And that go the first lady took off down the court. She says it's found in First Corinthians. Down the court she goes with First Corinthians. Does somebody see something different? Is somebody gonna steal it? She goes between her legs and passes it to Betty Jean and Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker coming on with his own. Okay, he said he ain't going with it. He passes it to his wife. Betty Jean and Johnny in agreement. They passing it back and forth between each other. We got a husband and wife duo headed down the court, and they passes it to Pastor White, and Pastor White passes it to cousin Connie. Down the court she goes with First Corinthians, and she passes to Sister Gibbs. Down the court, Sister Gibbs goes with First Corinthians. Is this a slam with First Corinthians? Is it a slam? That is correct. Way to slam it. First Corinthians is right. All right. Let's head on down the court with our next question. Next question said, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest. What book of the Bible is this found in? Is it found in Matthew, A, Matthew, B, Hosea, C, Titus, or D, Ecclesiastes? Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? Is it found in Matthew, Hosea, Titus, or Ecclesiastes? Who gonna take off down the court on this one? Betty Jean, yeah, she said slam it. So what about this one here? What book is whatsoever thy hand find to do? Who said that? What book of the Bible? These heavy hitters are taking their time on this one here. It's pretty tough on them. And Sister Gibbs jumped out of it right away and took off down the court with Matthew. There she headed with Matthew. Slam it, Sister Gibbs, slam it. She ain't afraid to take it on. She took off down the court with Matthew. And here comes Johnny Walker. He got with her. Johnny Walker and time to do it with all your might. So down the court they going with Matthew, and that go Betty Jean going with her husband. They headed down the court with Matthew. Down the court they go with Matthew, Betty Jean, Johnny, and Sister Gibbs. They all said Matthews. Down the court we're going with Matthews. Is this another slam with Matthews as we head down the court? Where them other heavy hitters at? Where them other heavy hitters at? Is they gonna come in? Sister Gibbs back and said, I'm still going with Matthews. Down the court they go with Matthews. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Are y'all afraid to get in on this one here? Are y'all afraid to get in on it? Where them other basketball players at? Where them other ones at? All right. There come the first lady in on there and stole it from them and took off down the court the other way with Ecclesiastes. Down the court she go with Ecclesiastes. Y'all gonna let her steal it from three people. Come on, y'all. Three people against one. Y'all gonna let her steal it? Y'all better get that ball back. She headed down the court with Ecclesiastes. I thought y'all said it was Matthew. Y'all gonna let one person steal it from y'all? There she goes. She going. Three people is coming at her. They coming at her. Y'all gonna let her have it with Ecclesiastes down the court? She going back and forth. Is this a slam with Ecclesiastes? But here comes Sister Gibbs, come back and stole it from us. And no, First Lady, you ain't gonna have you ain't gonna have it. But here come the First Lady, steals it back from Sister Gibbs with Ecclesiastes. Down the court she goes in with Ecclesiastes, and here comes Betty Jean. She steals it from the First Lady. Said no, it was Matthew, but the First Lady steals it right back. Down the court she goes with Ecclesiastes. She is determined. She is determined with Ecclesiastes. And they said slam it. So here it comes. Is it? That is correct. It was Ecclesiastes. Way the First Lady went at it by herself. Slam dunk from the First Lady with Ecclesiastes. That's the book that is found in. It is not found in Matthew. It is in the book of Ecclesiastes. All right. Good evening, Cousin Shirley. We've just finished our first half. That's okay. We just finished the first half. We getting a little drink of water. Man, that's first half was pretty tough. First Lady had to go at it pretty hard, boy. First Lady went at it pretty hard. All right. She got it, though. All right, let's get ready for our second half. Let's get ready and get our question for our second half. And the question is going to be a little bit different. Like I said, this as we get ready to go into our second half. And our second half is going to be all about Jesus. All right. This second half is all about Jesus. So here comes our question for the second half. Y'all get ready to head down the court. Here comes our question for the second half. I hope you're ready. And here we go. Once this video get out the way, I ain't paying them no money to stop that video. All right, here comes our first question. This is about Jesus. Said Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of what? A, silver, B, jewels, C, wood, or D, gold. What did Judas betray Jesus for? All right. That come Pastor White jumped up right away with silver, him and the First Lady, and they headed down the court with silver, and that go Cousin Shirley said silver. Man, they going at it pretty fast with that silver. They know this one here. Here come Johnny in with that silver, and he passed it back to the pastor, who passed it to Sister Gibbs, who passed it back to the pastor, who passed it to Cousin Connie with that silver. Down the court, we're going with silver. All right. And here comes Betty Jean. She said silver like her husband. She passes it to Pastor White. He betrayed Jesus with 30 pieces of silver. Is that correct? That is correct. Way to start off the second half slamming. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with our next question. Good slam. Here comes our next question. It says, Jesus stated that when you hear his words, to not be foolish like the man who built his house on what substance before it fell. Jesus said, don't be foolish like that man, that foolish man built his house on what? A, water, B, gravel, C, mud, D, sand. Who gonna head down the court first on this one? There go Cousin Shirley said he built his house on sand. Down the court she goes with sand. Are we in agreement? And she passes it to Sister Gibbs with sand. Down the court and she passes it to Pastor White. They're moving pretty fast. And here comes the First Lady said with sand. Down the court they go with sand. We got them head down the court with sand, and they passes it to Betty Jean. Cousin Betty Jean heads down the court and passes it back to Pastor White, who passes it to the First Lady, and she passes it to Sister Gibbs, back to the pastor. Down the court, the pastor passes it to Johnny Walker, Cousin Johnny. All right, down the court, Johnny goes with saying, and he a slam. Is this a slam with sand? That is correct. Way to slam it with sand. 350 slam. Way to go, Johnny. Down the court we go with our next question. He says, how many people did Jesus raise from the dead during his ministry? A, 3, B, 7, C, 1, D, 10. All right. How many people did Jesus raise from the dead during his ministries? 3, 7, 1, 10. Who gonna head down the court first on this one here? How many people did Jesus raise from the dead during his ministry? And there go cousin Shirley heads down the court with 3. Down the court she goes with 3. Are we all in agreement with 3? She heads down the court with 3 and she passes it to Pastor White. And Pastor White got it stolen by Sister Gibbs, who said it was 7. Down the court she goes with 7, and she got it stolen from her by Sister Glenzie. Good evening to you, Sister Glenzie Cummins. Down the court, Sister Glenzie goes with 3, and she passes it to the First Lady. First Lady passes it back to Sister Glenman. Down the court, they go with 3, and she passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean passes it to her husband with 3. Down the court, Johnny goes with 3, and he passes it to the pastor with 3, and he passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister Gibbs with 3, back to the pastor with 3. Down the court, they going back and forth with 3 between the First Lady and the pastor, and they said it was 3. Is this another flying 360 slam with 3? And there go cousin Connie. She coming in for the slam. Is that correct? Is it 3? That is correct. Way to slam it with 3. All right. Here we go down the court with our next question. Good slam. Jesus was buried in a tomb that belonged to a rich man named blank. His name Wu of Arimathea. Jesus was buried in a tomb to a rich man that belonged to a rich man named who? A, Richard, B, David, C, Joseph, D, James. What was that rich man's name? All right. It was 2 males and 1 female that he raised, you say. Okay, then. All right. There go the pastor said it was Joseph. Down the court, he passed it to cousin Shirley. And cousin Shirley passes it back to the pastor, to the First Lady, who passes to cousin Johnny, who passes it back to the pastor, and he passes it to Sister Glenzie Common. Down the court, she passes to the First Lady, and she passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean heads down the court and passes it back to the First Lady, and here comes Pastor White comes in with a CD. Sister Glenzie to help him out and said it was Joseph, and she passed it to Sister Gibbs. Down the court, Sister Gibbs comes in for the slam. Is this a slam? Joseph. That is correct. Way to slam it. Way to slam it. Joseph is correct. All right. Sister Connie and all them got in there at the last second. Here comes our next question. It says, how many people were crucified along with Jesus? A, 2, B, 4, 3, C, 1, D, 0. How many people were crucified with Jesus? Who gonna head down the court on this one here? And there go the First Lady, took off down the court, and she passed it to Pastor White, who Pastor White passes it to back to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it back to the First Lady. She passes it to Pastor White, passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes to Sister Gibbs. Down the court, she goes and passes to Pastor White, and he passes it to cousin Johnny. Cousin Johnny passes it to his wife, Betty Jean. Betty Jean passes Sister Glenzie Commons down the court, and she passes to Sister Catherine Gibbs. Down the court, Sister Gibbs goes with the ball, and they saying slam it, Sister Gibbs. Here come cousin Shirley. She passes it to her. They said slam it. Johnny said slam it. Betty Jean says slam it. Here come Pastor White in, getting ready for that slam. Is this a slam? Was it 2? That is correct. 2 it was. Yes, that is correct. That ends our third quarter. So grab y'all a quick drink of water as we get ready to go into the fourth and last quarter. We getting ready to go into the fourth and last quarter. Get you a quick drink of water as we get our questions together. As our questions, we get them for the last fourth quarter, and we're going to still be dealing with Jesus. But this time it's going to be fill in the blank, dealing with Jesus. All right. Get ready for our fourth quarter as we're going to be looking at fill in the blank with dealing with Jesus. All right. So as we get ready to pull up our questions, here they come. All right, here they are. Get ready. Let's go. Here's our first question of the fourth quarter. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have blank. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. What did Jesus say? I have spoken unto you that in me you might have what? A, peace. B, confession. C, remorse. D, faith. Who gonna head down the court first on this one here? Goes with peace. Back and forth she goes with peace between her legs and everything with peace, and she passes it to cousin Shirley, who passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to Pastor White, who passes it to back to Betty Jean. She passes it to the First Lady, who passes it to Johnny. Johnny passes his wife telling Johnny to slam it, but he passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to the pastor. And the pastor passes it to Sister Connie, my cousin, with peace. And here comes Sister Gibbs with peace coming in for the slam, and she alley hoops it to Pastor White. Pastor White, they said slam it. And here come they alley hooping to one another. Is that correct? Johnny said slam it. That is correct. That is us flying 360 slam. In me, you might have peace. All right, let's head down the court with the next fill in the blank. But lay up for yourselves blank in heaven, where neither moth nor rust that corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Lay up for yourselves what in heaven? A, everlasting life. B, treasures. C, good works. Or D, promises. All right, who gonna head down the court first on this one here? And here comes Sister Glenzie, heads down the court with treasure. Down the court she goes with treasure and passes it to the First Lady. And the First Lady, man, y'all moving quick on me. That's good. First Lady passes it down the court to Sister Sarah Hughes. Oh, okay. God bless you, man. Y'all moving pretty fast on me. Hard for me to catch up. Sister Sarah Hughes head down the court with treasure, and she passes to Pastor White, who passes to Sister Glee back to the First Lady. She passes to Johnny Walker back to the pastor, who passes it to his cousin Shirley, and cousin Shirley passes to Betty Jean, who passes it back to cousin Connie, who passes it to Sister Gibbs. Down the court they go, and she passes it to Pastor White. Betty Jean said slam it. Johnny said slam it. And here comes Sister Glenzie coming in for the slam. Is that correct? That is correct. Treasures. Way to slam it with treasures. All right. Let's head on down the court with the next question. Here we go. If you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world blank you. What? A, needed you. B, hate you. C, forgive it you. Or D, love it you. Who gonna head down the court on this one? Because you not of the world what? And there go Pastor Whitehead down the court and said the world hates you. Down the court he go with Hayden. He passed it. Oh, wait. White passes to Sister Glenzie Commons. My computer is stuck on. There you go. See, y'all moving so fast, y'all sticking my computer. All right, down the court we going and passing it back and forth with hate you. Sister, there they go. All right. Sister Glenzie Cummins started it off with hate you, and she passed to cousin Shirley, who passed it to Pastor White. He passed it back to Sister Glenzie, and she passed it to But Johnny Walker, Johnny passes to Sister Sarah Hughes. Sister Sarah Hughes passes to the First Lady, who passes to Sister Glenzie Commons, and she passes to Sister Gibbs. Sister Gibbs passed it back to the First Lady, and she passes it to Sister Commons, back to the First Lady, who passes it back to Sister Gibbs down the court. She passes to Pastor White. Yeah, they moving fast on me. They said slam it. Pastor White headed down the court. And there comes Sister Gibbs coming in for the slam. She passes with an alley hoop to Pastor White. Is that correct? They said slam it. That is correct. Slam it. Way to slam it. Flying 360 slam on that one. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. Next question said, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall blank every man according to his works. He shall do what? A, encourage every man. B, forgive. C, save every man. Or D, reward. Which one of them words did Jesus say for the Son of Man? All right, comment. And he shall do what? And his cousin Shirley headed down the court with rewards, and she passed to Sister Gibbs. Sister Gibbs passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean passes to Pastor White. Pastor White doubled back, and he passes it to Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker double between his legs and passes it to Sister Glenzer, who went behind her back and passed it to Sister Gibbs. Sister Gibbs went between her legs and passes it to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister Sarah Hughes. Sister Sarah Hughes passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the First Lady, back to the pastor, who passes it. Betty Jean said, slam it. And here come the pastor in for the slam. And here come First Lady in for the alley hoop. She coming in for the slam. She alley hoops it to Pastor White. Is that correct? There's the slam on that. Way to slam that one. All right. Here comes our next question. He said, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees and hypocrites, for ye are as blank, which appear not, and the men that walk over them are not aware of them. Ye are as blank, which appear not. A, manure. B, grass. C, graves. D, traps. Who gonna head down the court on this one here? Walk over them are not aware of them. All right, who gonna head down the court on this one here as we head down the court? Is this a flying 360 slam? Is y'all gonna get him? All right, that Sister Gibbs said, yeah, is manure. Down the court, we going with manure, but all of a sudden here come cousin Shirley steals it and head the other way with Graves. Down the court, she goes with Graves. Is we gonna go with Graves or is we gonna go with manure? Look like we're gonna slam it with Graves. And here comes Sister Gibbs changing with Graves. Down the court, she goes with Graves. Is we gonna go with Graves or somebody see something else? Down the court she go between her legs and everything, twisting back and forth with Graves. Is we determine to slam it with Graves, and she passes it to the First Lady with Graves. Down the court we go with Graves. Is this another slam with Graves? And here comes Johnny Walker. All right, cousin Johnny said it's Graves. First Lady passed to Johnny Walker, and is he head down the court? Is he gonna pass the ball or what? He passes it to his wife with Graves, and she passes it to cousin Connie with Graves. Down the court we going with Graves, and she passes to Sister Gibbs. Sister Gibbs passes to Sister Glenzie Commons. Down the court she passes to Pastor White with Graves. Down the court he goes, and Betty Jean says slam it. Down the court, and here comes back the pastor. He's going between his legs and everything. He's determined to slam it. Are we all in agreement? Here come the First Lady coming in for the slam. And she passes it back to Pastor White, and she says, slam it. Is it Graves? That is correct. Way to slam it on the last one. All right. That ends our game tonight. All right. We'd like to thank you all for being a part of this Bible basketball. Thank you all. Man, y'all was slamming. Y'all played some good all-star basketball, some good all-star Bible basketball. So I'd like to thank you all for attending tonight. Be sure, have a good evening. Trust the process and keep God first. Thank you all. Thank you, cousin Shirley. Thank you to my beautiful wife, Pastor White. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you all for being out here. Thank you, Betty Jean and Johnny. God bless you. Thank you, Sister Glenzie. Thank you, Sister Gibbs. Thank you to my cousin Connie. Thank you, Johnny Walker. All right. All that came out. Thank you, Sister Sarah Hughes. God bless you. Thank you for coming out, having a little basketball fun with you. If I missed anybody, charge it to my head, not my eyes, and not my heart. All right. Thank you all. Y'all have a blessed night. I enjoyed you all too. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you to you all, Sister Glenzie, Sister Catherine Gibbs, all of you. My cousin Connie, God bless you. Thank you for coming out. If I miss anybody, charge it to my eyes, not my heart. All right, y'all have a blessed evening. And remember always, trust the process and keep God first. And they say a prayer for Charles Wimbush and Terry Holmes. All right. Be sure to pray for our homie, Charles Wimbush and Terry Holmes, our cousin. All right. Be sure to say a prayer for them. All right. Y'all be sure to continue to pray for them. Add them on to your prayer list. Remember them in your prayers. All right. Because, you never know when you might be in that position and need somebody to pray for you, because sometimes you can be in so much pain and going through so much that you forget to pray yourself. That's why Jesus prayed for Peter, because Peter had got into a situation he needed prayer. So help out those others that are in need of prayer. My cousin Paulette Holmes, y'all pray for her that she continue to grow stronger. And be sure to join, if you ain't doing nothing, join me and Pastor White in the morning at 6 a.m. as we go into prayer. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we in prayer. And so be sure to join us. Me, Pastor White, Sister Gibbs, and others, we be in prayer at 6 a.m. in the morning. So remember all those that are in need. Pray for my family. I lost my cousin Bootsy. So pray for traveling mercy for me as I be heading to Wynn next week to funeralize my cousin Bootsy, Willie Lee Neal. So that'll be happening next Tuesday. So I'll be traveling to Wynn for that. So pray for traveling mercy for me as I travel the highway. So much going on in our world today, and you never can pray enough. That's why Jesus said, men must always pray. Can't pray enough. All right. So y'all be blessed. Have a good evening. Thank you, Cousin Shirley. God bless you. So join us in prayer. We'll be praying in the morning for all of those and for one another. Keep them all in prayer. All right. Have a and keep God first. All right.